it was almost exactly a year you were sitting here
Mm-hmm.
and you were saying, I think I'm going to go to Arizona. You know, that went pretty well. And then there was an Australian tour. It hasn't always been 7 buses and trailers.
Nope.
It was a very small show a year ago.
Yep.
It was even a challenge of, well, are we going to bring an extra guy? How does this thing build? Does one day, like, Ben comes out and goes, okay, tonight we're adding fireworks. And then it's like, okay, we've got a couple new dancers. I mean, this didn't just all of a sudden happen one time. This is a little progression as the year went on, right?
Yeah, I'm smiling because a year ago, I was riding in the back of a Dodge Town and Country van. Had just gotten back from doing the East Coast tour, or getting ready to go on the East Coast tour, where there was only one bus, and then there was a follow van that went behind it. You know, we'd gone
Right.
we'd gone down the West Coast, and this was the break time when I was like going, Christmas, I don't have any money, because nobody knew what was going on, and the
So
song
as the sales went, the venues got bigger.
as the sales
added
went,
trucks, added buses.
it's like anything else, you know. It's like when the money starts coming in, and you can plan, and so all the stuff with all the buses and the big set, and you have leverage to say we want to do this, and promoters say, well, we can book you in this venue. I mean, we did 3 sold-out shows at Madison Square Garden Theater, not the big room, the theater that's underneath it. Why? Because at the time that they were booking all the shows for that part of the tour, there was renovations going on in the upstairs main room. They couldn't guarantee that they'd be done. And so you don't want to book a show, and then all of a sudden it's a week before the show day, and it's like, oh, we can't have you here, so, you know, and then you have to cancel a show.
So then, now wait a minute. You just played there.
Yeah, that was
the big.
Yeah, that was for a big radio station, Jingle Bell.
That's our station, Kiss.
Yeah.
in New York.
I met some of your people.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Sorry.
Dude, Sharon.
I'm sure they were fun.
Sharon's great. Sharon's great, and I did an interview with JJ. It was.
Oh
it was
yeah,
fun.
yeah. You had a blast. Did they? Now, did Miley Cyrus and you cross paths at all, or did you meet her Santa?
You know, I have successfully missed.
You've successfully missed her.
I have successfully
Because
missed.
I saw that, and I suspect that her Santa, who is not the real Santa.
We shared a couple. We shared a couple of green rooms with her band. I didn't talk to him.
Why?
I didn't want to know.
But it's funny because when the history of twerking is written, you've been in the building for every major one. You were at the VMAs, you were at Madison Square Garden.
Based on that VMA experience, some of us are smart enough to go, if the battle's over there, I'm going the opposite
Yeah, you
direction.
learned your lesson on that one.
You know, it's like you see one accident, you don't need to see another one. It's like, no, it was just, no.
Tell us about your acoustic show coming up in Ballard. Tell me what's going to happen.
It's being put on by an old friend of mine, Marco Collins, who used to be a radio guy.
The old
here in
DJ,
town.
the guy from the end.
Yeah, the
I
guy
love
from
Marco.
the end.
Yeah,
and
a classic radio and music figure in Seattle who was part of the whole grunge revolution in the '90s.
He was part of the machine that made this area famous. And he asked me if I'd be interested. There was a whole bunch of people like there was good, you know. I'm still trying to figure out what Wanz is, other than the hook singer for a thrift shop. It's kind of like a weird little identity challenge.
Right. Now there you are. That's the #1 song. That's the Hey Jude, American Pie, Won't Get Fooled Again.
This week,
of
yeah.
This,
Well,
this
year.
thing.
This year,
Yeah,
this
well,
is the
here.
biggest.
No, but that's a song that will be classic. That's
Right,
a song that will be
It
around.
will always be the
It
song
will outlive
of
all of us.
2013.
Okay,
Yeah,
it
I
will
know.
always be there. By the way, Macklemore is that kind of artist. It's an amazing body of work.
Yeah.
Whereas every single, I've come to realize recently, every single song is a masterpiece. It's like it's not particularly my kind of music, but like the Beatles. When you hooked into the Beatles and you were a kid and you went, wow, every single song is unique and a masterpiece.
Yeah, like Sgt. Pepper.
Right.
Like Sgt. Pepper. And the thing is that you talk to different musicians and they go, how did he do that? How did he do that? And it's like, I don't know.
And then how did he reinvent himself again for this song?
Yeah, and
So-
the whole thing of it is what most people don't realize is that they don't make records like that anymore.
Right.
You know, and I read this blogger who says basically albums are dead. And I kind of agree.
Bob Lefsetz.
That's the guy.
Kind of a jerk, but actually he's pretty smart.
He's very, I started reading him when bands were doing reunion tours, and his talk about the Eagles was so spot on. I've been hooked ever since, and everything that he has written and said about the music business is true. It's been my experience. I've seen what he said, And it happened. And, albums are going to go away. And in a way, it's like a circular, things are going back to the way they were in the late 50s, early 60s.
Now, do you think that's good for music? I kind of do, because it becomes all about the song. And you have Macklemore where every song is great. It doesn't even matter that it's on an album.
Nope.
Because maybe they'll package them in an album. They'll always package stuff.
That just like the Beach Boys.
Just like Costco.
Just like the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, you think back when the Beach Boys were new, you knew this song, Help Me Rhonda,
Right.
you knew this song, you knew this song. You didn't care about the album. You went and bought the 45.
Right. But
Well,
now you can't have a Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
Sell a whole album of other stuff that no one wants to hear with
Right.
it, and then you can't put out a second album and a whole bunch of people will buy it because there's one hit on it.
Right.
You need lots of hits. And
Yeah, you
will
need
will that rise the level of songwriting, do you think?
I hope so. I hope so. I hope it encourages people to I hope it encourages musicians to kind of up their game a little bit and not try to write to the lowest denomination, Kind of
Are you working on some new songs with some great hooks like Thrift Shop that you can sing for us right now?
Well, I don't know if they're great. That's not for me to decide. If I've learned anything from Macklemore, I've learned that, you put together your best work and you put it out there and you let the people decide.
People decide. Yeah.
How is that's a great question, and I hope you're comfortable answering it. How would you say he's grown since this all started? I mean, you were there when this was a project in a studio, and they called you at 11 o'clock at night to come sing a hook for this guy.
Yeah.
How's he grown? Has he changed? I mean, you can't imagine he's the same kid.
Basically, he is. The biggest change is that, because of the enormity of everything and the pace of the schedule, what I've learned about him is he has gotten a lot more thoughtful about what his next move is going to be. That's what you don't want to be successful just once. And the hardest thing in the music business is to repeat success.
Right.
Having repeat success it's unheard of, unless of course you have like a huge label that throws millions of dollars at you.
Which you have now.
Oh, no, actually, I don't. No, there's no label.
There's no huge label?
That was independent release.
Did you get bought by Google and Facebook? What happened?
No. See, that's the big thing. I'm really interested. That's the most interesting thing about the whole Grammy.
What's the name of your label?
There is no label.
There is no label.
No.
It's
The Heist was released independently by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
I assumed that was a story, that there's some
No, I
giant
think-
corporation
well, I
behind the
think
whole
Warner
thing.
Brothers
See,
started
they
helping
Made
out.
it in a tree with
Two
houses.
guys there, and their last name is Warner.
So the thing is, the weird thing is that when you're sitting in these, when you're sitting at the VMAs and you're sitting at the AMAs, and you know that all these other people in the room are signed to major corporations, right?
Right.
And you're not, and yet you're getting all these accolades. I mean, the most interesting thing about the VMAs was when they were performing "Same Love," when Mary and Ben and Ryan and everybody was up on stage. I was looking around, and no one was really locked in conversation. No one was like getting up to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Everyone was paying attention. And when I told that story to someone else, a friend of mine, he said, everyone was probably very envious because you're getting this prime slot in this show, yet there's no label, and everyone wants to be
So
that
you
guy.
don't have like label guys going, okay, baby, that was a great album. Now let's make another one just like it. We want the same hooks. We want
Hey.
the same thing. Let's change thrift shop, make it tag sale.
When a guy, when a
Rummage
guy like
sale.
when a
How
guy
about
like
rummage
L.A.
sale?
Reid,
Yeah.
when a guy like L.A. Reid flies from L.A. to Missoula, Montana, to see your show, that tells you everything you need to know about what you've got. And they have it on video in the first tour video where he's backstage, and he says, all of you who think you had it going on have just been replaced. And that was a year ago.
And L.A. Reid loved Missoula so much he decided to stay and never returned to L.A.
Now
No.
named Missoula
No.
Reid.
No, no.
No, I didn't think
He
so.
was gone before end of show. Mr. Brilliant
the
over
hell
here.
outta here.
Mr. Brilliant over here fist pumps him, and it's like, I've seen that guy before. I don't know who it is.